Hello again, my name is Evelyn. When I first signed up for this class, I wasn't entirely sure what to expect. I just wanted to satisfy my GE requirements, and I also wanted to get enough credits to graduate this semester. I really wasn't expecting to read plays that had so many different social issues in them that were still relevant today. I think we like to think that we're above a lot of the social issues that are in these plays, like racism and stereotyping and immigration and women's roles. Two of these that I would really like to focus on are the immigration and women's roles in society, because they occur in our plays a lot and they are also very relevant in today's society. Immigration is something that I think intertwines everyone on a global level because it is the mixing of cultures in one country. The US is known for being a place with many different cultures, and there's so many different customs that people in this country go by, and I think we see that a lot in the Farm Worker's Son and FOB, because both of them talk about how there is a struggle with these characters when they come into the country because they have their own cultural beliefs and they want to keep those, but they don't want to be seen as outsiders, so they really also want to assimilate into the country, or at least the younger generations generally do. They'd like to fit in a little bit more, and to do that, they usually choose to take in more of the normal cultures and beliefs, but they still also struggle to keep their own cultural identity because they do still want to keep the old culture and remain part of that. And as nations, I think that it's something that should be encouraged. We should be encouraged to experience what other cultures experience just as much as they should experience ours. And I think that having those different views in one place is a great way to understand other countries and be able to interact with them in ways that might be less tension causing and can prevent serious conflict. The other topic that I wanted to talk about was women's roles, because we do see quite a few different representations of women in these plays. One play in particular that I found was a good example of the progress made for women was A Raisin in the Sun, because it was written in the 1950s, but it includes both your stereotypical housewife figure and also a very ambitious, educated young woman who would be like the new generation in that era, who is determined to get a top paying career and does not want to depend on men and wants to be her own person. This kind of progress is made very gradually, and even just in A Raisin in the Sun, you can see that it does improve. And since then, we have shrunken the wage gap, and there's definitely a wider access to education for women. One case in particular that I found really interesting was I was doing some research on this topic, and CNBC wrote an article about developing countries and how they're becoming more widely accepting of women in power. And it said in Uganda specifically, they have the highest rates right now of female business owners. It's at 34.8%, and that's a developing country, so it means that the progress made in other countries is spreading to even smaller countries. I think that's another way to show that we are all not necessarily one world, I wouldn't say, because I think some things don't get taken in by other countries, but it definitely shows that we all do have effects on each other. And I think that despite the two issues that I presented being so different from each other, they both have to do with the trading of ideas and beliefs between one culture to another or one country to another. And I think that that's a really great concept to be able to trade those ideas and be accepting of them, not necessarily accepting them as your own, but just accepting that they are valid ideas to someone else, is a great way to help start altering the issues in every country, just by slowly doing it in your own country and showing that it does make progress. And I really hope that that all made sense, because I really tried to make sense of it. I think I redid this video quite a few times, but this class really did help me see the world a little bit differently and open my eyes a lot to the fact that we do all kind of play a role in each other's lives, whether it's directly or indirectly. So I definitely appreciated this class a lot.